Meron? Ano nga ba ang meron? Paano nga bang mabuhay ng tapat sa meron? Don't you wish you can relive your philo classes? The terror teachers? The terrible oral exams? Or the even terrifying but liberating and life-changing aha moments? Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Here's your chance! Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Kasama ang mga pilosopong sina Jovi Miroy at Capinding. Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Leaping upward, leaping forward. Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Leaping to greater heights, to greater wisdom, to greater magis. Lundag na, Ateneo!
Ready na? Good afternoon! It's me without Soson. Lundagin Mo Beybeh. Ngayong September 2, first show natin sa September after like a whole month siguro, no? A whole month of not having a show dahil maraming mga holiday nung Mondays ng August. So for a long time we have not seen each other, we have not heard from each other, and now we're back, all right? And hopefully with a bang, with a vengeance. September na po. So nakikinig na ba kayo ng mga Christmas songs? So, pero ngayong araw na to, iba ang ating pakinggan ng mga kanta. Dahil September pa lang naman. Alright, September. What does September remind us of? So, September morn. Normally, September, ano pa lang yan, di ba? Mga fall pa lang yan sa ibang mga... Pero sa atin, simula na ng Christmas. Pero September is also the month of Mary. But, nagsimula na din yan noong August 15, di ba? Assumption din yan. Tapos September 8, significant sa mga Jesuits in September 8. So that's the birthday of Our Lady. At syempre ang Ateneo ay blue and white. So we are preparing for celebrating Mary's birthday. All right? Pero bago niyan, meron muna tayong kakausapin. And so for today we have guests. You can probably see them already on your screens. We'll talk to them later. All right? We'll talk to them later. And they're here to talk about their musical, Magnificat. Magnificat, the musical written by Ryan Cayabyab and Nestor Torre. Pero bago niyan, we'll talk first to Dr. John Bulaong of the Philosophy Department because today also is the birthday of our teacher who died already, Dr. Ramon Reyes. So we'll talk to him first, but first we'll go on a break. Okay?
Meron? Ano nga ba ang meron? Paano nga bang mabuhay ng tapat sa meron? Don't you wish you can relive your philo classes? The terror teachers? The terrible oral exams? Or the even terrifying but liberating and life-changing aha moments? Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Here's your chance! Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Kasama ang mga pilosopong sina Jovi Miroy at Capinding. Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Leaping upward, leaping forward. Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Leaping to greater heights, to greater wisdom, to greater magis. Lundag na, Ateneo!
Rejoices in God, my Savior. For He has looked with favor on His lowly servant. My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. From this day all generations will My spirit rejoices in God, my Savior. For He has looked with favor on His lowly servant. My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. He has mercy on those who fear Him in every generation. He has shown the strength of His arm and scattered all the proud. My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God, my Savior. Has looked with favor on His lowly servant. My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. He has cast the mighty from their thrones and has lifted up the lowly. He has filled the hungry with good things and set the rich away. My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God, my Savior. For He has looked with favor on His lowly servant. My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. He has crowned His servant Israel and recalled His promise of mercy, the promise He made to Abraham and to his children forever, forever. My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God, my Savior, my Savior. For He has looked with favor on His lowly servant. My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My soul proclaims the greatness of the
Meron? Ano nga ba ang meron? Paano nga bang mabuhay ng tapat sa meron? Don't you wish you can relive your philo classes? The terror teachers? The terrible oral exams? Or the even terrifying but liberating and life-changing aha moments? Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Here's your chance! Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Kasama ang mga pilosopong sina Jovi Miroy at Capinding. Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Leaping upward, leaping forward. Lundagin Mo Beybeh! Leaping to greater heights, to greater wisdom, to greater magis. Lundag na, Ateneo!
We're back and we're talking. We have on the phone Dr. John Bulaong because today is the birthday of one of the esteemed philosophers of the Philosophy Department, Philo teachers of the Philosophy Department. Last August 16 was the birthday of Father Ferriols. We had celebrations in the Jesuit Wellness Center. But today we have celebrations in the Philosophy Department because it is the birthday of Dr. Ramon Reyes. So we're talking to John who organized it. So John,
Hi, hello, good afternoon.
so what's going on at the Philosophy Department?
Right now, people are just starting to come in. We have lechon.
You have lechon?
Which is only becoming a tradition in the philosophy department.
A tradition, right?
When Dr. Monsi Reyes was still alive, there were some years when he would ask me or some other young faculty member to get lechon on his birthday. So we tried to keep that tradition alive. But today it is Nena Reyes, his wife, who will be coming here.
So, Mrs. Reyes will be there. All right.
Yes, Mrs. Reyes. That's Nena and that's the wife of Dr. Reyes. Can I mention that the actual birthday of Dr. Ramon Reyes
Yes.
was yesterday. So
September 1. All right.
he would have become, if he were still alive, he would have been 84.
84.
But he died kasi in 2014, in the first quarter of 2014.
So how long has it been since he passed on?
So that's 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, about 5 years ago.
And he is still sorely missed by the philosophy department.
By the philosophy department.
So John, how do you know Dr. Reyes? What's your bond with Dr. Reyes?
Dr. Reyes was my mentor for my MA thesis, and also I would like to consider him a friend when I was a young philosophy teacher. We would often have conversations. So we often had conversations with a lot of young philosophy teachers and his former students. I also took both modern philosophy and contemporary philosophy course at under him. That's part of the history courses. So every philosophy major has to take ancient philo, medieval philo, modern, and then contemporary.
Yes.
For a long time, it was Dr. Reyes who was teaching both modern and contemporary philosophy.
And that's what you're teaching now too, right?
I'm teaching modern. Well, at least the past several years, I've been teaching modern.
Yes. And he was your ninong. Wasn't he your ninong in your wedding?
Yeah, did you remember, Jovi? Dr. Reyes was my ninong for my wedding.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I remember everything.
That's very good. That's very good.
Do you remember anything that he told you? Any nuggets of wisdom that you really...
Yeah, Jovi, about one of the remarkable memories, one of the remarkable stories from Dr. Reyes. And actually, I have in front of me now, I got an old copy of his Fest Schrift. A Fest Schrift is a book that people publish while a professor is still alive, and it's a collection of essays dedicated to the person the Fest Schrift is designed for.
Yes.
So I have in front of me, the title is The Moral Dimensions, Essays in Honor of Ramon Castillo Reyes. It was Father Nemique, myself, and Michael Mariano, who edited the book. It has several essays on applied ethics. But at the end of the book is an essay that was written by Gus Rodriguez, one of our co-teachers, on the gentleman's life in philosophy. And I wanted to recall very quickly lang for you that it says that one of the best-known vocation stories of the Ateneo is what is called the soap story.
Yes. Sige, you can tell that story.
Yes, the soap story, the vocation story, because it talks about Ramon Reyes' own decisions when he was after he graduated. He was he was not a professor at that time, but after graduating, I mean, the long story short, no?
Yes.
The story goes this way. After graduation, he asked the dean of the Ateneo at that time, Father Concal, what he can do after graduating, and Father Conco told him, go and teach in Bayambong, you soft Ateneans. That's quoted here, no? You're all soft Ateneans because they came from the grade school, high school, and college. So I suppose it comes from an insulated security of the upper class Atenean at that time. So challenge to, there's anyone I think who took that up. He went to Bayambong as a matter of fact. And this is fun. He went to a school, a Belgian school, Belgian missionaries in Bayambong. And they needed teachers. And then the priest, this host, went to welcomed him in Bayambong, and then showed him his room. So told him, Ramon, this will be your room, and it was just earth. And then beside the room, the priest showed him the toilet, and it was not a very nice toilet, the toilet that he's used to.
Yeah, actually, I don't know what Bayambong is.
But he narrates the story that he left. That day he returned to Manila from Bayambong.
Really?
I went to Father Conkel, and told him, I don't think my driver's toilet is better than the toilet that they have in Bayambong. He narrates that story. And then what changed him, what changed his mind, the kind of conversion that he had was when Conkel basically challenged him, because he, at that time, he also had a job offer from
PNG.
What was Procter and Gamble, used to be called Philippine Manufacturing Corporation at that time in the 1950s.
Yes.
So he also had a job offer to work in Procter and Gamble, then Procter and Gamble. And before even the cliche begin with the end in mind was conceived, was spoken of, a popular adage now. That was a strategy that Father Conco gave in. And that's where the soap story comes in. Father Conco told him, well, what you have to do is evaluate, what you're going to do is you're going to evaluate your life at the end of your life, and think, if you're going to work for Procter & Gamble, you would have, by that time, at the end of your life, you would be, you probably have nice cars, you have a nice house, you have all of these, you have the trappings of corporate life. And you would have, at the end of that life, produce 2 million bars of soap. And then he said, compare that with a whole lifetime of having educated generations of Ateneans. And that was the things that Father Conco asked him to compare. At the end of your life, what would you rather have produced, rather have accomplished? 2 million bars of soap, or a whole lifetime of educating and forming the minds of Ateneans.
All right.
So that's why he made the decision then to begin teaching. So that's one of the most memorable anecdotes. What's called a soap story by Dr. Ramon Reyes.
Yeah, a soap opera story. All right, John, I think we have remembered Dr. Reyes fittingly. Why do we have to keep his legacy alive? Very short.
Very short. Actually, a year after his passing, the Philosophy Department, with the help of some donors, put together what is called the Ramon Reyes Memorial Fund. It's an endowed fund. So in perpetuity, the endowed fund allows us to have, it's a small amount of money, it's not a large endowment, but it allows us to host events, to support also
the Ramon C. Reyes Memorial Lecture, no?
Yeah, so every year we have the Ramon Reyes Memorial Lecture.
All right.
It happens either during his birthday or his death anniversary.
Okay. So, John, do you have any call to action to the former students of Dr. Reyes who might be listening to us, or their children? Children of Dr. Reyes as students.
At least as regards call to action, I think Dr. Reyes' life is exemplary of an alternative, what might be considered an alternative lifestyle. A radical shift, a radical move away from the usual expectation that I think Ateneans still face today. You know very well that our John Rockway School of Management has the largest population of students. And students that Ateneans who want to live that competitive lifestyle. I think naman may represent the alternative lifestyle.
Yes.
Not very rich as successful. As long as people
All right. John, you are actually losing you already. It's becoming choppy. So
Sorry, is that better?
Yes. So Dr. Reyes' life is a life that is a path that is not well beaten, and today
that's right.
students are still facing the same choices. Hopefully, it is not really just a choice between making soap or being a teacher, but
That's right.
but living a meaningful life, a life that is given to others, as Dr. Reyes has done.
Yeah. That's very well articulated, Jovi.
Yes. So I'd like to thank you for organizing the party in the department, and for talking to us and reminding our listeners of the person and legacy of Dr. Reyes. Okay, John, I'll see you.
Thank
in the
you, Jovi.
department. Okay.
Come by after your radio show, please.
Sure. All right. Okay.
Bye-bye.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye. So that was John Bulaong, our professor in Ateneo. His wife actually is a restoration architect. Yeah, who used to be involved in Tallier something, the one that's sponsored by the Spanish embassy. Now, for the rest of our show is dedicated to Magnificat, to the Canticle of Mary, which is also a musical that's going to be shown in September. All right, and we have to talk about the show is the producer and CEO, CEO of Lyric Opera, producer of
the founders.
and the founders of Lyric Opera, Sherwin Soson.
Yes, good afternoon.
All right, and the lead, the one who's going to appear as come out as a Mary, young Mary, and that's her name is Mary Alyssa Evangelista. So Mary Alyssa, welcome to the Ateneo.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right. So let's talk about Magnificat. Why did you decide? When is it showing?
It's showing, it will start showing September 27 all the way up to October 12.
So September 27 to October 12. So
Yes.
that's really the whole. So because August, September, October, these are all Marian months.
Yes,
no?
correct.
Why did you decide? Where is it showing?
At the Music Museum in Green Hills.
Music Museum. All right. Normally the shows are in the evening, or.
We have afternoon shows and evening shows. Yes.
All right. Yes. So that's a lot of shows, huh? How many shows is that?
I think around nine shows.
9 shows.
Yes.
Wow. And I think they can buy the shows, no? They can buy the shows and then.
They can buy tickets.
And
actually.
tickets.
Yes, they can buy tickets.
Well, it could be that they want to buy the shows too. So now you're selling the tickets.
Yes, we're selling the
right.
tickets.
So, what's this? Why did you decide? First, this is lyric opera, no?
Yes.
What is lyric opera?
Lyric Opera, we're a non-profit opera company. I think we're the only one, I think, in the Philippines.
Yes.
And our mission is to champion the Filipino artists.
I see.
Yes.
Singing artist, opera singer.
Not only, because we also, because some of our shows, especially the operas and the concerts, we also have music, what do you call them? Instrumentalists.
I see.
So pianists,
Yes.
violinists.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you you're a singer, di ba?
Yes.
Yeah. You will sing later. You will sing later. You're a singer, but you're actually just like Dr. Reyes. You have another hat.
Oh,
What is your hat?
I'm a businessman.
You're a businessman,
Yes.
di ba? And then you put up lyric opera
Yes.
because you have. Why do you put up?
It's
lyric
our
opera?
passion. Yeah,
It's
more-
your passion.
Yeah, it's our passion. Yes.
Yeah, so you have this. You're a businessman, but you have a passion which is not your business.
Yes, correct.
And your passion really is singing opera, no?
Yes, classical music.
Did you ever join Tawag ng Tanghalan?
No.
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 Don't you want to join Tawag ng
Never had the
Tanghalan?
opportunity.
Bagong kampiyon.
Never had the opportunity.
Now, Sherwin is not from Ateneo.
I took my MBA in Ateneo.
Is that so? Okay,
Yes.
that's why. Very good. So no problem. But really, you're from your undergraduate is
Well, I'm from LaSalle.
yes.
Yeah, my undergraduate. Yeah.
All right. So you're really from the LSU. What did you study in the LSU?
Manufacturing, engineering, and management.
All right. Let's not go into that. It's all about music. Now, Alyssa, did you study music?
Yes po. I was a student in UST. I took up Bachelor of Music, major in musical theater.
Wow, musical theater. I wish I'd studied that na lang. But if I studied that, there's no philo show. Right? Did you know I auditioned for Miss Saigon?
Oh, you did?
Yes, the first Miss Saigon.
Okay.
And then, so I sang What Kind of Fool Am I? And then, I was expecting to be called back. And in fact, I was told, yes, you're called back. But then, after a few minutes, they said, no, you can leave now. Because my voice was too operatic. It's too operatic.
For them?
For Miss Saigon, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the story of my life. I think I suffered for like 2 months and decided I'll be a philo teacher.
Ouch.
So Alyssa, why did you take up musical theater?
Ever since po kasi, when I was young, I mean, my mom is a singer. So ever since I was in her womb, she would sing to me. So I guess that's why I'm able to sing. And then ever since, I love to act, I love to dance, and I love to sing. So in musical theater, you can do all those three, diba?
Yeah.
So that's
So is it fun to be a musical theater major?
Yes, because it's also a way of expressing yourself. So through
Is
art.
UST tough? It's like the Conservatory of Music.
Yeah,
And,
the
and
training.
shout out to Tonton Africa.
Our dean, who's our
Yes.
dean. Yeah,
Is
it's
it
really tough. The training.
Peter is also there, no? Peter
Yes.
Porticos. He's an Atenean, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Studied
I heard
math.
math. Yeah.
So, is this your first?
Yes, this is my first ever professional role, and then
So she's a discovery, Sherwin.
Yes.
How did you discover her?
She went to auditions, and we were very impressed.
All right. By the way, who's directing the musical, the show?
This is a new staging, so it's very unlike the previous stagings before. This one is directed by Loris Guillen.
Loris Galian, no less. So, we don't really mind promoting it because it's about Our Lady. Why did you choose Magnificat?
First, the music is really wonderful. It's by Ryan Cayabyab, and we feel that the message of the musical is very timely. Given for me personally, I feel that we should also expose people to religious themed musicals so that it will help strengthen their faith, and we hope that through this musical, when they watch it, they will rediscover things about their faith that they probably have forgotten.
I see. Magnificat refers to the Canticle of Mary, the Song of Mary. But this is the musical about the life of Mary.
it's the life of Jesus through Mama Mary's eyes.
So the musical is the life of Jesus through Mama Mary's eyes. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, it's more perspective. Yeah, so this one, it's really from how does Mama Mary react when Jesus goes through all the sufferings. Yeah, so it's more from her point of view.
I see. And Alyssa is playing the young Mary. Can we talk about that? So you're the one that appears in the scene of the Annunciation, I suppose.
Yes. So actually, the whole Act 1, if you see it, most of it is a joyful mystery, like the Annunciation, Visitation, Presentation, and yeah. So lahat yun ng joyful mysteries, it's there.
Yes.
So I'll be actually kind
So
of.
when do we say goodbye to you? Like when it enters the Passion.
The whole Act 1, I'm gonna be
Yes.
playing the young Mary, and the second act, I will appear there in one scene. Parang it's like a premonition. Like,
Yeah. So how did you prepare for your role as the young Mary?
it's more than the physical, the singing, the acting. I'm preparing for it also spiritually.
Why spiritually also?
Because when it comes to Mama Mary, the battle is really hard because it's Mama Mary. So
Do you feel that also?
Oh,
Like
yes.
putting up the show is like there's a kind of a battle.
yeah, in my own experience, it's the battle also spiritually. So I'm trying to ask for her mantle of protection through the rosary, through the mass and adoration. So it's also preparing myself because I believe that I'm just an instrument being used to give a message.
So this is your first role, but of course you've been doing musicals,
Yes.
no, in your school, in school,
Yes,
diba?
yes,
So how did you feel when you found out that you were chosen as the young Mary?
Actually, I didn't really expect that. I mean,
really?
I mean, my professor was the one who told me to. You audition. She sent me the picture, and then I was with my family. I said, maybe I will try this, and it's Magnificat. I mean, it's Mama Mary's Canticle. So I went for it. Parang kumbaga, it's kind of similar to what she experienced before because when she was at 3 years old, diba, she was sent to the temple. I mean, that's one of the preparations kasi at that time there was already a prophecy that the Messiah is coming, and the Virgin will come from the line of David. So actually, her dream was to be. I mean, she was preparing herself to be the servant of Mama Mary, of the mother of the Messiah, not the mother. And then she was, not knowing that she is the one, she's the chosen one. So
So it's
parang
like
kumbaga,
you.
that's what I felt. I never really. But then in my heart,
Did you say yes immediately?
yes. I mean, in my heart, that's my only dream role, Mama Mary.
All right, you're going to sing a song from the musical now or later? When do you want to sing the song from the musical?
Yeah.
Right now. So maybe we'll do the song from the musical Magnificat. And then we'll segue. We'll just continue. Yes. So here's Mary Alyssa Evangelista.
Actually, it's just Alyssa.
Alyssa Evangelista with a song
Yes, this is entitled Sanggol Kong Musmos, one of her songs in Act 1.
from Nestor Torres
from-
and Ryan Cayabyab's
Yes.
Magnificat.
Magnificat. Sanggol Kong Musmos, sa pag-ibig ika'y puspos, anak ng taong anak ng Diyos. Paano matatarok ito ng lubos sa misteryo ng iyong paghiral? Lumakas sa iyong puso ang pagmamahal. Di mo Diyos na naging pusang sa puso ko'y alay. Kung tadhana'y halakanang baliktarin, kalbaryo mo'y buong puso kong papasanin. Anumang bigat ng sala ng likha mong daigdig, ayan mong paghanin ng wagas mong
Oh my God. Wow.
That's our song.
That's magnificent. All right.
Thank you, praise God.
Wow. What is that song saying?
During that, I mean, when she was singing that song, she's holding baby Jesus. So, you know, that
alright.
joy. I mean, you're holding, you know, God. You're holding Him in the most, I mean, in the humblest way.
Yeah. Well, do you know why Ryan and Nestor made this musical? Why and when?
When?
Yeah.
Well, a little anecdote. Mr. C took 3 years to compose the music for the whole musical. He wanted to give up actually, but Direct Nes was very persistent.
Do you know?
and
Do
very
you remember
insistent.
when?
The first show was in 1996.
Okay.
So it was really a long time ago.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I should probably less.
Mr. C is national artist Ryan Cayabyab.
Yes, national artist Ryan Cayabyab. So he wanted to give up, but
Yes.
but Nestor Torre was very, very insistent that he wanted Ryan Cayabyab to finish the musical.
So it took because Mr. C normally takes
It's
a
very
short time
it's
to
very
do
fast.
stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
But this one, it really was a challenge.
Yeah, and it sounds it has its own flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice music.
Wow. Why did you choose of all the songs? Did you choose that song or did Sherwin choose the song?
Oh, kind of. Both. We chose it.
Why did you choose that song? For this
It's one of the, me personally, it's
Yes.
one of the more beautiful songs of Mary in the musical. It's a more tender one. I mean, she's talking to her child, who is also the Messiah.
Yes.
And it basic for me, it encapsulates who Mary is in Jesus' life.
Yes. All right. So would it be too much to ask if Our Lady is also significant in your lives?
Oh yes. I mean, she is. I mean, I believe that she's the reason why I'm here. I mean, I believe in my heart that she's the one who chose me. She's really my mother. I mean, she's a spiritual mother to me. Like, she helped me through a lot. And also, I came from a Marian school, St. Mary's Academy in Dipolog City. So ever since then, she really took care of me. So I grew up with nuns ever since. So
you'll be a nun.
I already took my discernment process. So, but I'm open. We'll see what God, calls me.
Well, if Our Lady gave birth to a child, why shouldn't you? So Sherwin, I didn't know you're a Marian devotee.
Yeah.
Your wife, who's your wife?
My wife, her name is Lucille.
Is from Ateneo.
Yes, yes, she is from
Which
Ateneo.
batch?
I'm
You
not
don't
sure. Yeah, but she took up legal management here.
Legal management.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys are Marian devotees.
You can say that. I mean, when you go to our house, we have a grotto with Lady of Fatima, and inside our house, there's an altar with several images of Mama Mary. Yes.
Is the message of Magnificat, as you said, it's something that is relevant, no? Now, in the Canticle of Mary, there's a song that is the Canticle of Mary.
Yes.
There is.
Yes.
What is the meaning for you of the Canticle of Mary?
For me, I mean, it says, magnifying the glory. I mean,
Yeah.
she magnifies the glory of God. So it's like, parang kumbaga, that was during the visitation visitation, right? When she visited Saint Elizabeth.
I'm so impressed. Yes. That's in the visitation.
During the visitation, so like parang who am I na i-visit ako ng ina
Correct.
ng
Yeah.
Panginoon.
Yeah.
So that was kind of her answer to her question. That's why that led her to her Magnificat.
Yes.
So for me, I see that as not her anymore singing, but God through her. Kasi, at that age, how can she be able to express such? So I believe that it was God's voice through her.
How old was she supposed to be at the time of the
When she gave birth?
Annunciation? Yeah.
Annunciation, I'm not sure, but when she gave birth to Jesus,
Yes.
I think she was 15.
15 years old.
Yes, 15 years old.
Is there a Joseph in the musical?
Yes, there is.
Yes.
There
There's a
is.
Joseph.
Yes,
Yeah. Who's playing Joseph?
Kelvin Galano.
Kelvin Galano.
Yes.
So is it also a kind of strategy that you have new talent for this musical?
Well, Direct Loris was insistent that we get new faces, new talents
Yes,
for this
yeah.
musical, but we never really told people don't come because you're an old one. No. It was open. It was an open audition. Yes.
Yes.
We were always hoping to find new talent, but
Yes.
we welcome everybody.
All right. Now, Sherwin, your journey naman. Yes. You as you said, you are an engineer.
Yes.
And then when did you start singing?
Oh, I started singing after high school, actually. None of my classmates in high school even know that I perform. Yeah, so I started singing after high school.
Yes.
But I stopped when I got into the corporate world, and it started again in 2006. And this time it's
Why did you stop?
Because it was taking too much of my time. I had to, the typical buckle down, be serious, work, raise a family.
All right.
Yes. And then in 2006, my wife mentioned that there was this musical, and she said, "Why don't you go to this show?"
Really?
Yeah. And so that's
Were you becoming impossible to live with?
probably. Maybe that's the reason. She wanted me out of the house. Maybe.
Yeah, because when you don't express your passion, you become impossible to live with. So, which musical was that?
That was Chinoy Kaisaka. It's an original musical, also by Nestor Torre. Yes, it's a reflection on the journey and the life of the Chinese Filipinos in the Philippines.
And what was your role there?
Brian Fong, I was the lead.
You were the lead.
Yes, that was a big surprise. I actually mentioned it to Alyssa because I went to the auditions. I was around 220 to 230 pounds, so really, really big. And then he went after hearing
Para
me
kasi
sing-
Placido Domingo. Hindi, para kasi Pavarotti.
Pavarotti, correct. And then when he heard me sing, he said, "I think I have a role for you, but you have to lose the weight." So I did.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he gave me, I was surprised that he gave me that role.
All right. But this afternoon, you're going to sing.
Okay. This is also something.
You're not part of Magnificat.
Well, technically yes, but you won't see me on stage. I'll be the voice of God.
You're the voice of God.
Yes. And God has a song in this.
Because you run the show.
Really?
Now, the thing is, what are you going to sing now?
This is the song of God in the musical. This was.
This is also from the music.
Yeah, this is also from the musical.
Okay.
It's the scene where God discovers that Adam and Eve partook of the fruit from the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge and good and evil.
All right.
Yeah.
So the Sherwin Soson with the song.
Well, we call it Eba, bakit mo kinain?
Nakakatawa din. Eba, bakit mo kinain?
Kinain.
All right. Sige.
Eba, bakit mo kinain ang bunga ng punong kahoy na pinagbawal ko sa'yo?
Pinaglalangan ako ng ahas at ako'y kumain ng prutas. Patawad, Panginoon, patawad.
sa lupa. Tunay kang uusad sa lupa, alabok ang iyong kakainin. Habang buhay, palaging ko kayong dalawa ng babae. Ang iyong ulo ang kanyang dudurugin. Pararamihin kong hilahil ng iyong pagdadalang tao at maghihirap ka sa pagluluwal ng sanggol. Sumpain ng lupa ng dahil sa'yo. Mula ngayon paghihirapan mo ang kakainin mo. Ikaw ay alabok at sa alabok, ikaw ay dapat lang bumalik. Layas, lisanin niyo ang paraiso ko. Mga dati kong minahal na naging palalot suwail. Layas at matuto kayong mabuhay sa kadiliman. Malayo sa aking, malayo sa aking, malayo sa aking paningin.
Alright. Yan po ang ating local Luciano Pavarotti.
But that's a very big compliment.
Did you have to prepare for that role? Are you preparing for that role? The role of God, the voice of God.
In between everything else I have to do for the musical, I try to take time. And I was surprised that I have to sing. That's why I accepted the role, because I'm off stage, so I can look at the lyrics.
All right. Okay. Sige. So is there anything else that you want to say so that our audiences will be enticed to watch?
You say something.
Yeah, it's very short lang.
Yes.
Magnificat also is a yes of Mo Mary, right?
Yes.
So with that yes, which brought salvation, that was the first yes that brought us, brought us salvation. So for me, a small yes to this, to watch the Magnificat can be like, a life-changing experience to anyone. So
That's true. Yeah.
So the title alone of the of the musical.
Magnificat,
Yes.
my soul magnifies the Lord.
Yes,
Diba?
and it's a musical. I mean, yeah, it's a religious musical, right? I mean, but it's also it talks about humanity, eh? Like from the brokenness of the world, there came, I mean, that brokenness was being used. Was used for the salvation, for our salvation.
Is there in the musical also this part, the brokenness of the world, that's also shown in the musical, the brokenness of the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, you can say that. Yeah, you can see the Beatitudes as also part of the musical.
The Beatitudes.
Yes, yes, it's really Bible based. The whole musical.
Yes.
It's Bible based. So this is not only for Catholics.
No, it's not.
Yes, it's also for
For everyone.
for everyone.
Who
Yeah.
believes in God?
Yes. Yeah. And is there a kind of other intention that you want to? Is this to forward classical singing, or is lyric opera? It's a kind of statement, for all this, because as Dr. Sunico would say, diba, we're very musical.
Yes.
And yet there's something missing as well, perhaps a certain degree of parang sinasabi niya, sometimes it's not enough that you're musical, kailangan you have to have more. Have you heard of that statement from Dr. Sunico?
Like,
Was he your teacher? No.
I mean, nung dean pa siya ng USD,
Yes,
I was already there.
Yeah.
I think what I understood from that was, is diba, in preparing for a musical or for your pieces, you study it technically, right? Like meaning like where to breathe, how to sing the right notes. Then that's studying it technically. But then there comes now when you finish that, there comes to studying and like how to interpret it. And that's where you doon na pumapasok yung heart mo. Kasi you can sing it really, really well, but then people would hear if it really comes from your heart or not. So I think that's what you meant, like you putting, parang you being one with your music. That's different. Like,
and it's also amazing to realize, you know, that Our Lady was a singer. Like I said, there's a Song of Mary. It's not a. There are new songs in the New Testament. In fact, very few songs in the New Testament. One of them is the Song of Mary, diba? So it's either she's a composer herself, because it's a Song of Mary, or that she was a singer, diba? And that is something to understand, no, siguro as artists, that we are not just singers. We are not just you know, we are not adding to the figure of Mary. That is really who she is. Somebody who praised God through song. Diba? I don't want to put you on a spot, but do you have a favorite Jesuit music song?
maybe you. I'm not sure if it's Jescom, pero yung ano yun? Yung can I search it? I think it's I'll be here. I will be here.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
yeah. So is that also how you praise God, or do you pray through singing and?
Yeah, because there are times when you cannot express through words what you want to tell him. Like, so sometimes kapag, like, I'm alone, especially if sabihin in adoration chapel, like, I know there's no one. I mean, like, sometimes I cannot express.
But that's precisely what Our Lady did, you know. She sang.
I would just sing and cry, and, you know, sometimes words really cannot suffice what you want to say. So maybe through song, I can express what I want to.
Yeah. So bakit kaya ganon, Sherwin? Why do you need to sing? Even if you're already, like, you know, an engineer. Why is song or singing very important for you?
It's a means of expression. Theater, performance arts, live performance art. I think it's an expression of the soul. It helps our soul discover its place in the universe. Especially, and I really believe that when God gives us talents, that we should not waste it. We should use it, and well, what better way than to use it to glorify God?
Yes, diba? So, are you still going to sing another song?
From the music.
From the musical? Are you still going to sing another song?
From the musical, or is it
Any song, yeah.
any song?
We still have time?
Yes. How much time do we
Maybe
have?
this
3 minutes?
Oh, so one song.
One more song.
this is a song that I never sang before, but I always wanted to sing. So it's from the musical The Last 5 Years, and the title is Still Hurting.
All right. Sige. And with this, I thank Sherwin and Alyssa for coming to us, and hope and Alyssa.
Alyssa. It's all right.
Alyssa is my niece's name. And please to invite them again to watch.
Yes, we're inviting everyone to watch Magnificat the musical, directed by Loris Guillen, this coming September 27 to October 12 at the Music Museum. Tickets available at Ticket World.
Right. Alyssa, you want to greet anyone?
Yeah, I would like to greet my family, my friends. I mean, we're listening right now, and I just want to say that wherever I am, you are remembered in my heart.
All right. Sherwin, you want to greet anyone?
Yeah, probably my wife here. I am in your alma mater.
All right, Alyssa, with the song, we'll say goodbye to you with the song.
Still Hurting from the Last 5 Years.
And with that, with the story of both Alyssa and Sherwin, it's just, you know, you just have to go for it. Lundagin Mo Beybeh. So Alyssa, send us off.
Jamie's over and Jamie's gone. Jamie's decided it's time to move on. Jamie has new dreams he's building upon, and I'm still hurting. Jamie arrived at the end of the line. Jamie's convinced that the problem was mine. Jamie's probably feeling just fine, and I'm still hurting. What about lies, Jamie? What about things that you swore to be true? What about you, Jamie? What about you? Jamie is sure something wonderful died. Jamie decides it's his right to decide. Jamie's got secrets he doesn't confide, and I'm still hurting. Go and hide and run away. Run away. Run and find something better. Go and ride the sun away. Run away. Like it's simple, like it's right. Thank you.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng pera. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugo, todo sa kayod, tunong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan.